Flowers and animal talk. First, they thought I was joking or daydreaming, but I insisted. They would look at me worried. It got so bad that the school children stopped associating with me because apparently their parents heard about me and warned their children off from me. The students crowded me. Please, don't leave us. You didn't tell us anything. What is the animal saying? Are these students making fun of me? I would respond, and they would marvel at my answer, even though they really didn't believe me. But then, when the headmistress summoned my parents to our office and explained to them that I was becoming a distraction to other kids, I had to stop talking. But then I see these people. Isn't that strange? Though, I stopped talking. I stopped talking about it at school. I stopped talking about it at school. And when there were no stories about animals or trees talking, I had no idea why, but I was open to playing with them as long as they don't allow me lead the way. I didn't know who they were, but we were communicating. I had no friends, but I had them. So life continued. When I was 7, I had become an expert in finding them. In fact, I was shocked when people tell me their friends or family is dead, because I still speak to them. But my mom said I shouldn't say anything. I was like a superhero. All I needed was a cape or a bodysuit. Life was beautiful. It was fun when I was the only child, and a different kind of fun when my younger sister was born. I used my fierce imagination to explore everywhere I found myself, because at last, that is what it was. The schoolyard became a forest whenever I am there. The backyard of my home became an ocean in which I was a pirate, sailing on a large ship or even leaving the earth just to go to the moon. I've been to the moon 5 times, and that's only because it got boring. Now I understand when they say youthful exuberance. My sisters were born, set of twins. I attacked my mom frequently, and when they did, the house becomes silent. Either my father had rushed down to them, or my mom is already there, helping her and money in her sleep. I would stay in my room looking for the attention, but I saw none. My sister didn't suffer as much as mom. As we sat around the dining table and ate fried plantain and egg, my father asked me, "My deaf friend, when is she leaving?" And then I said, "On Tuesday." My dad said that he hoped she will have a nice journey. Tuesday came and gone. I looked at him. "So you guys are not here?" And she said, "I am still waiting for you." And then we got talking. She told me all about what has been going on in school. The night my mother slept. That night, my mother slept but didn't wake up. My younger sister had traveled to the cold, far away city of London. I was alone with her that night, and I remembered it so clear and vivid. My mom was crying and screaming. She always cried, but on a lot of other days that she usually smiled too. And other times, if she's not crying, my sister is the one crying. What is going on? What will make a full-grown woman cry? And then also my sister cry. And then that day she didn't even cry. We just didn't hear anything. And he said, "Boom boom, you are so young, and I am so sorry. But your mother is gone." Gone? Gone where? If she's gone, she will come now. What are you telling me? She will normally go out before. Boom boom. That isn't what we mean. We mean your mother is no more. No more. Which one is no more again? Oh, auntie, you don't want to talk to me. I didn't ask any more questions either, because I didn't know she would sleep and not wake up until she slept and didn't wake up. Yet, when I think back about that night, I realized that there was a very somehow way. There was a way she looked down on me. But as she stroked my hair, I took it that this is part of the work. Okay. It was an "I will miss you so much" look. The kind of look that we get from our parents when they're in love with us. Mama did not even say she's coming. I just didn't hear from her. I'll go back home and I'll meet her whenever she meets me. But my sister is still here. And she and Mama, they are battling the same kind of thing. Does that also mean that they will tell me too that this one they also slept and did not wake up? I have to know what's going on. How do we do this? There was a deep sadness in my eyes. Still a kid, I still did not understand the full meaning of this. But what I didn't know was that Mama has traveled and she's not coming back anytime soon. But I have to make sure that NIO is not traveling with her too. Promise me you will look after your sister. Okay, Mama. I will look after her. But what now? You know the way she should disturb me. Till you come back, tell her no, she should not disturb me. My mom looked at me and she smiled with sadness. That was the last time I spoke to her. Wow. Oh, life is funny. So this is how life is. I am not going to allow the same fate before my sister. And so I set out to save my sister. First of all, we need to know what is wrong with them first. What is actually wrong? I asked my dad. He said the Baba said that it's a family problem. It's our enemies. Our enemies have strewn fire for us. Then I remembered in school that our biology teacher was talking about some kind of virus. Could it be virus? I will start there. Monday couldn't come fast enough. I ran to school more than money, even if we were told not to go. Everybody looked at me with so much pity. I didn't know why. When I got to school, I was still feeling a bit off. And then I asked a funny question. What kind of sickness used to do somebody that will make the person to be crying? That even after you give birth, your children will be crying like you too. Big Mommy husband was a doctor. All this big doctor in all this big hospital. He sat me down and said, "Let me understand your question." But I realized when Mommy looked at me, there was a deep sadness in my mom's eyes. Great. All that happened in a cell is very specialized. So it does only one thing. All cells in our body do just one thing. Yes. Either they are working independently or they are working together, or all cells in your body perform just one duty. Example, well, if they are all working for sickness, they are working for that, and they are making you immune. If they are working for you to heal you, that's what they will do for you. Wow, that's nice. But then, doctor, what kind of sickness do we have that you will have it and your mommy will have it too? You both will be crying together. He started looking at me, and then I felt he already knows the answer to my question. And then he asked, have you ever heard of genotype? 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 Is it the name of somebody? No, it is not. So then what is genotype? Genotype is something we don't take serious, but it has caused a lot of family, a lot of pain. Okay, now you are very lucky. You are an AS. What is AS? Oh, I know. Yes. Oh, I know. Okay. First of all, have anybody explained how the concept is to you? Imagine, I get it. I imagine the cells like a football team, a goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, and strikers. I could even see substitutes on the bench and trainers on the coach. So each cell does its job so that every group of cells can do their job. So when you need group of cells, you could just blow your whistle. When you need group of cells, other group will begin to fall in little more. The more your cell regenerates, the less the better. We die if it's hard time. Yes, we do. Especially our white blood cell. It dies almost every minute. Yes. White like white in color. Yes. They are like water. Milky brown. They fight any disease in our body. They protect us like soldiers. Perfect descriptions. Wow, I said. As I imagine soldiers in white running all around my body, fighting the cold I have and running stomach. Then I remembered why I came. Do they have guns? Not the type of gun you see, but they do have guns. Can I borrow some? What do you want with guns? They are different names. Well, so that we can shoot down the red blood soldier and fight him alone. What is it? Yes, just any moment. It's too advanced for you, Lord. When you grow older, you learn all about it in school. I want to know what are your vernaculars? Do you speak English to her? I want to hear you. She shook her head no. She's my friend. Okay? So, can you spell it? The white blood cell. Okay? LYMPHOCYTES. She spelled it, and I repeated it along for her. This is the spelling of life Asein. It was one of the most difficult things I have done. Put a smile on my face when I was dying inside. And I repeated it along with her. We spent our day together. It was one of the most fun-filled days she might remember. It was one of the most fun-filled days she might remember. But for me, it was a day filled with pain. And sorrows. Chapter 3. Boom boom. Chapter 3. It's chapter 2, page 20. From birth to death. From birth to death. Compared by some OU Igbe. Chapter 3. The evolution of Benin traditional laws and succession. Chapter 18. Chapter 18. The evolution of Benin traditional law and succession. Chief SOU Igbe. The grouping of people into entities and commodities began with the unit's family, made up of the father as leader, his wife, his children. When the father died, the son succeeded him in this position as the head of the family. If the disease has more than one wife, all the wives and the siblings remain with the new family held in the Benin until the children acquires their own home. This was the case in ancient Benin. The male children went from there to build their own homes, and the female left when they got married. And it's still the responsibility of the eldest son to bury his deceased father and arrange the ancestral shrine in line with the relevant ceremonies. The Okagbe. The family became bigger, with the siblings establishing their own homes and unit family and cousins. This became more distant and distant and distant. The need for the Okagbe arose. He was, and still is, the eldest surviving male member of the family. The Benin family system, being patrilineal, his succession, like that of the eldest son, is in respect of unit family, is automatic. The Odion way. Contiguous sentiments of such extended families develop into villages, with the need for an Ontiowere as the village head. As the case of the extended family, the oldest member of the village community automatically succeeded to the position of the Odiowe after the necessary traditional ceremony. A situation which persists till today. Odiowe Gasoma Egbe Aiboyo. The Odiowe is the first order and is the first elder. The Odiowe, out of the 4 elders of the Benin, is the eldest. Of course, he would already have performed the Herodion ceremony. It is imperative that this ceremony is performed before he can become an Odiowe. When the Herodion ceremony is performed, it does not matter. If, however, the stool become vacant and the eldest son of the Odion of the village is yet to perform his ceremony in his village, it must then be done before he is installed. Where the village is part of the regime of an Enuge, the Enuge take precedence in the administrative hierarchy. Wives, with rise of villages, the concern shifted to how to hold the village together as an organized group. The need for a higher level of leadership became essential to control the inevitable inter-village conflict. It was at this stage that the Council for Odionwere, Ikedionwere, was established, where each village is represented by its Odionwere. Then the oldest of the whole Odionwere become the leader of the Ikedionwere. As this leader was usually very old, he nominated a younger, strong and versatile member as the Okaeko to help him in performing physical tasks. Igodo, a strong, ambitious Odionwe of Idu Irioto, was the Okaeko. He emerged as the first Ogiso and abolished the councils of Odionwe. He mooted the idea of succession by heredity, although none of his two children succeeded him to the throne. Ogiso Ere and his son, Ogiso Orire, who ascended the throne in that order after him, were his grandson. His great-grandson and their succession were in accordance with the Igodo prescription. Ogiso Igodo had constituted a royal council in place of the Ikedionwe. It was made principally of the Edionwe and some Odigbo. Ogiso, a group set up by him as Ogiso Orire passed on. And as he had no son to succeed him, the royal council reverted to the old gerontocratic principle, decreeing that the oldest member of the family would succeed to the Ogiso throne on the demise of the incumbent. The Odigbo, Ogwa, Owere Nekwa, who transited to the Edioine, were excluded from taking their turns in these gerontocratic arrangements, and they were the promoters, advisors, and caretakers of the monarchy. They later become the so-called kingmakers. Hereditary titles. Ogiso Oriagba ascended the throne, benefiting from the gerontocratic arrangements, but he came with a determination to bring leadership stability to the monarchy. He envisioned that the Ogiso succession must be changed back to the hereditary type, the primogenital arrangement, but back this time by a nest of kin provision. He calculated that the Edioine, the great nobles, as kingmakers, requires more strength and authorities, and therefore needed the same system of succession to enable them perform their functions without inhibitions. Accordingly, he called on all the powers of his ancestors, especially on Eriwindu, the ancestral progenitor of the Edo people, to aid him in taking the decision. He eventually promulgated the law of primogeniture, and all members of the royal council swore to it before the Eriwindu shrine that upon the death of the king, his eldest son would succeed him. If he did not have a son to succeed him, his next of kin in the family would succeed him. Children of female members of the family were ineligible for succession. In the placement of the son on his search of a next of kin from there, no, it's Tigus. Now, the Usama would bear absolute responsibility upon the death of any Ezioine. The reigning king would invite the first son for an interview and to give his condolence words for installation to the Oba of the disease. Just as Ezioine will come to the responsibility. Just as Ezioine will come to your responsibilities. Where are you? This Ezio were also enough. These Ezio were also provided with enough landed properties, facilities, and human attendants to enable us. That's what I'm telling you, to enable us to know what we are doing. See, we are listening is what are we doing? On the succession, on the ascension, on the ascension to the throne of his ancestors, at his coronation, the Oba of Benin takes a good look at his brother and selects a few of them for consideration as a Nigi elect. Then pick any randomly Benin person. He then picked any randomly Benin person to be part of them from the public. And such hereditary titles of the kingdom now operate under this law enacted by Ogiso Oraigba, which was still in the instruments of the instability and continuity of the monarchy. The Benin system inheritance still stands strong. How does one explain that it takes a couple of days for one to assimilate whatever position is given to you from the palace? On ascension to the throne of his ancestors at his coronation, it took the Oba of Benin some days to be able to ingest and absorb those powers. Same thing happened when the position is given. Because it takes some days getting used to. Then the Oba of Benin took a good look at his brothers and select a few of them for consideration as the Eniki elects. He then fixes a day for the ceremony. On the fixed day, the selected princes are invited to the palace, where they are publicly but individually installed and sent to specific conglomeration of communities over which they will rule as a Nugi. Living and ruling as a Nugi is not hereditary, and administering them as dukedom on behalf of the Oba, the communities will have their representative present at the ceremony, to whom the new Enogi will be introduced to. They are provided with farming equipment, as they are expected to engage in farming as part of their activities. They will be expected to meet with their father, the Oba, from time to time to discuss the prosperity of the kingdom. The Enogie title is hereditary and primogenital. And like other school titles, they are perpetual. All Edionwere in their areas are subject to the authority and cultural supervision of the Enigi. But the matter of the discipline of individual Enigi, as well as Enogie, what want to happen? Rests with the Oba of Benin. The Enigi are addressed officially as Royal Highnesses. They are collectively known as Enigi or individually known as Enogie. Just as the Edionwe are individually known as Odionwe. The Ohe priests Ohe are recent creation in Benin history. There are no known priests during the Ogiso era, at which time there were only Ebo, the native doctor, who was individually known as Obo. They were strong and lived apparently in isolated independence. At times, far removed from community settlements. One of these Ebo, whose divination was interpreted to Ogiso Owodo, was the genesis of Prince Ikaladera travels. The prince were, however, the creation of the Oba in my league. In their normal lives, they are politically subjected to in their way touching them. The gentleman is pretty. What about only the book that the Oba has held? Any matter of winning monarch, please tell me, has the last laugh when it comes to an Odionwe, unless he, like every other member, comes to you. In that case, the monarch also approved the appointment if he thinks it is the expedient. When, however, the community is funded by adherents of a particular deity, the priests of the deity also act. It should be noted always, however, that the Odionwe position, it is not hereditary. Kings of the Oba dynasty, from Oromia to Obaiwai. Odoloye Oromia c. 1170 AD. Eweka the first c. 1200 AD. Wakwale 1235 AD. Eyemiye 1255 AD. Ewedu Ogwola Edonu Oe Egbeka Orobiru Waifokun Ewaye the Great, Exoti, Olua, Ozolua, Esigi, Orogboa, Buddha, Owan, Akenze, Ahenze, Akenzua, Akengboy, Ahekpaye, Akengedo, Ore Ogene, Ewape, Ozuere, Akenzua the First, Eresua, Eresuaye, Akenguda, Obanusa, Ugbebo, Ojowe, Osenede, Adolo, Uvorame, Eweka the Second, Eweka the Second, Akenzua the Second, Ewediawa, Ewere the Second. The Benin traditional law of inheritance. The foregoing is the totality of the essence, the circumstances, and the raison d'être of the Benin traditional law of succession. Benin common law on the subject. Thus, hence, any clause to be added, as it should be, from the beginning to the end. Common law, no clauses, no addition, no subtraction. So the Benin's, the law is natural. For their own part, the law you want to put for one place of age, you want to put, it is easy to claim something. The Benin traditional law on inheritance has always been the common law on what's resuming on logic and everything. It's not based on what we are doing. Cases relating to the position of Igiogbe are particularly focused on this respect. Whatever injustice or inequities that may have existed in the application of the law have been due to the vagaries of interpretation of the courts. Dishonesty and dispute and avaricious and selfish tendency of parties to inherent dispute will be able to put it together. Recent law reports have refined the evils as follows. The principal house wherein a Benin man lived and died. The house a Benin man lived and is buried, consisting of a singular compound with what we build by together. Houses unbuilt or unbuilt. In the light of this definition, if we are not careful, my friends and family, in the light of this, whoever will become an Igbo, especially with some of the decisions, implies that you'll be able to run things on time, especially amen, to the Benin, who apply it as a law, to the Benin, who apply it as their law. However, the law is simple. The nearest equivalent to Ogbe in English is a compound or a large one-plot based estate. The Igi Ogbe is the principal house in the Ogbe compound or estate where the deceased lived and died, whereas the country most Otafu gentleman possessed only one house in his estate or compound Ogbe, where he resided with his family. Today, depending on his financial muscle, he may possess several houses spread over many locations, including the Ogbe. His original compound, and whereas in English law, which I am supposed to have, contains an Ogbe. It is the compound containing the principal house where he lived with his family and died. Usually, he is buried there. The principal house is that original compound in his Igi Ogbe, and on his demise goes to his eldest surviving son. As a matter of inalienable right, in our customary law, there is only one Igi Ogbe. The number of the houses within a man has, but he has just one Ogbe, one family Ogbe, one Igi Ogbe. And this is the entitlement of the first son. In the absence of any other house, the last house owned by the deceased and wherein they lived through is now only identified by drafted and crumbling walls in its Igi Ogbe. The place of burial of the deceased is not culturally relevant in the determination of his Igi Ogbe. The building, which is inalienable, inheritance of his eldest surviving son. The Benin man was always buried in his home, but he could also be buried elsewhere. If he wants to be specifically buried in his home, then he could make a special request before he died, so his children and family will not do contrary. It is our Ega. The shrine sets up for the worship of the disease and created for his eldest son. At the Ukome ceremony, at the end of the burial of Saint Quiz, which is a relevant physical fixture to be found in the Igiogbe, not the grave or disease. The people do not worship graves, neither do they appropriate them. It is either son who chooses the site of his father's burial. The site chosen is usually in the Igiogbe building or its environment. In the case of compound burial, which is what the purpose of the eldest son choosing is usually, he must accept the possibilities that his father will remain under there. Eventually, people with any heart of his younger sibling who may be allocated the building as an inheritance from their father's estate. It is hope that our courts finds it possible to streamline their decisions in this matter with our customary law of inheritance as enunciated in the ongoing. As things are, some court pronouncements appear to us conflicting and at the same time at variance. The position of the Benin customary law of inheritance, which they seek to adjudicate. In our culture, the Ogbeis is expected to endure forever. It is personified in the name of its founder, that it is expected to bear the name for eternity. This expectation, backed by steadfast practice over the years, is expected even in names given by parents to their children. Ogbede, Ogbe. The Ogbe we know for. Ogbenede, the Ogbe that never falls. Omokpa Ogbe. Omokpa Ogbe. The child grows to elevate the status. Ogbe Fun, Ogbe We, Ogbe Ewe. No wonder our culture demands that the deceased principal house be inherited by his son, who will be in a position as a leader to bear his father's name and inherit his responsibilities. An ancestral shrine. Only the eldest surviving son personified these qualities in our culture for this position. There are the reasons why a woman for some reason does not stay in the Iyobe. Does not stay in the Iyobe. It is culture and it is not alienated. That is tradition. The people of Benin together, Omonobae Edo in council has given an overriding dispensation that his book be read. Son, who do we decide on? On his own, to heart for another house because of its thief, class, and location must be printed on it. The other properties are maybe shared already among children outside. Seniority by the family or in accordance is based on male child. Why for the woman? It's supposed to be based on female child. The children that are here, wife and wife must be catered for, bearing in their mind, and the children and in that home cannot and will not do anything that will harm any of you. That is, all of you are safe. This is it. Wife must be catered for, bearing in mind that children at the same home cannot have consecutive share. The other thing can leave a share for the properties through appropriate instruments to any of his wives who is specifically serviceable to him own without instrument, own without instrument, own unanimous agreement, children inherit the properties of parents. The children are expected to look after their mothers and their fathers. The children are expected that as an offspring, you question your parents and know whatever it is they have is. On the siblings aspect, we can't have too many difficulties in and out. So, I don't think there's anything to solve here. An offspring born out of wedlock. It's whether the family has to have satisfied that. Okay. Sure. The properties of women. The properties of women in our culture are analogous to your milk, to your breast milk. They feed their babies with their breast milk. make irrespective of gender differentialities. Moreover, women like their male counterparts. Do you have a Giogbe to inherit his inheritance procedures? Properties of deceased mothers should be left for their girls to share among themselves. I think if we want to talk about gender neutrality and equality, that should be the way it should go. In the Benin culture, properties or a deceased person are shared among the children, and soon as the burial is over, unless the deceased left a will or other proven instruction to the contrary, which they should then open. It however should be borne in mind that the provision of such instruction that are in conflict with the tradition and law would be null and void even before you bring it in. There is no customary excuse for the family to delay this process. The foregoing spare out of the Benin spare that we are not doing is inheritance. Provides pointers necessary for actions. We would like to advise that rather than create any controversies in their interpretation, clarification should be sought where necessary from the custodian to our custom and tradition. His Royal Majesty Omonoba Edo Uku Akpolokpolo Oba of Benin, through the Benin Traditional Council, Benin Proverb and Adages, Ethan Keve Edo, Chief S.O.U. Igbe. Benin Proverb and Adages are idiomatic expressions established by usage, Benin and English. Even Benin. Okay. For me, I feel since it is here, let us use the opportunity to explain it to ourselves. Established by Shimon Benin's wise choice. They are really popular for us. They are easy. They are popular with the elderly member of the continuity for the figurative advice or even comprehensive as a result of the interplay. In their literal meaning, he's trying to be sarcastic. They begin crazy come of feeling. They bring you crazy. We say, if a speaker speak out of old yoga, if they are all sooner. You can't. Maybe these are close. The adages should be good. I've not seen anything yet, and I hope it is good. The adages are usually short, and some of them are given as name to the newborn baby, depicting reaction to incidents, pain, or pleasure in the lives of new people. Aibu egbe. Cultural norms. Cultural norms and values. Cultural norms and values. The face cannot be forgotten while the body is washed. There were no updating. Amen. Megawo. Two eyes cannot behold the fall of a great man. Two eyes cannot behold the fall of a great man. Amen. Egwalwe. One cannot chew water. The face. Distance enhances love and respect between people. The face cannot be forgotten while having a bath. One cannot make a still fire. Water. The water. The water should not be spent or wasted. One cannot answer. The witch cannot kill. Osariemen Mungu. A foreigner is not given a hardship responsibility in a community. When you have become the head of a household, you do not run from responsibility. Agazo nea. When a child follows him to manhood, a child follows me to manhood. Is the patients that run to Lagos. When you have become the head of the administration, you are free. When if a patient run away, if a patient run away, if a patient run away, a child follow him. If a patient run away, the patient is usually followed by his supporters. When you have become the head, you do not run from difficult responsibilities. When the Ohiha tree becomes productive of fruits, it acquires flattering things. No animal is slaughtered without the fry knowing about it. Try to kill a tsetse fly perching on your skin. You eat yourself. When one dies, one does not remember others. Sugarcane solution. Anyway, he who takes joy in the misfortune of others must remember that he is giving joy. The word manifestations are at times unfathomable, but the word choose consultation. While watching a dancer, he works for money. If you go blind because of your money, you have eyes, but you'll not be able to see your friends. A cook is sacrificed to Orion so that stealing any remaining secret when a he-goat sacrifice was made, stealing will become public. If a patient runs away with an ulcer leg to Lagos, Lagosa will still be clean and dressed in Lagos. When one lives straight, one is straight. It is when one is bent that you start thinking bent. Okiaku 3 become very productive. Agawe ne If you scratch your body as hard as you can. Your skin will get injured. Without suffering, one cannot have pleasure. Corpulent goats cannot swallow up your knees. A community title does not override seniority. One does not spread any other cover over decorative mats. Beauty cannot overshadow good manners. If you create a broad, you are still looking for the old road. If you are nowhere friends looking for her, you know her personally. Agama Agamu Umo. If you create a boardroom, you already had enough in the blood. Beauty cannot have good man. One does not spend an ordinary Bible. Even me, it's hard for me to hold it. Beauty, they say, is divine. A man, you do not beat. You, even when you defy, you don't know when you defy. No one knows you. You do not do anything despicable when you wear bead. You do not belong. You do belong to this day. When wearing bead, it is wrong. Without bead to palace. Ogbeno even bedroom. Last time one begins to talk only when one is at the age of talking. What one has to talk? Bad sharing masculine. Bad sharing causes joy. When one who lives good, one should tell signs are the one that need what I have to offer. If we don't live bad lives, we will not die a bad death. So that we know Agaseredo Edodio. Edoga Sogoa. Edoga Sogoa. Edodio. Edodio. Agasogedo. Edodio. Edoga Sogo. Sant. Agasogedo. Edodio. Edoga Sogoa. Edodio. Edodio. When the nose is tortured, the eyes cry. Ow. Amaria Woko. The word that passed through the farm also passed through the farmer's head. Benin or Benin. The language of Benin. The language of the people of Benin is in Benin. The Benin people are the ones in charge of the RBDA in an way. A B A E O U. The Benin language has 7 vowels, Kotsin, Messian, as follows: A, E, I, B, O, U. E and O are symbols and are present in the Benin book instead of I and I, just as B and I and I are used in place of I, U. The collectively 33 alphabet. It is monstrous. We now need to take, yes, we now take a record of we that did not join them to submit. Ago, Ebibi, Edede, Ebe, Ege, Efe, Egogo, Igbo, Igo, Ehoho, Ivi, Ekita, Ukpo, Oha, Lare, Imosi, Uwe, Owo, Iya, Ode, Oton, Opia, Iyo, Oro, Asun, Ota, Otun, Avan, Iviosa, Uwa, Iya, Ozwo, Ekia, Ivie, Oye, isiokwu isiokwu ọwụ ọbịohoho ọbịoho ara iswe swe okwu iswe vient ovient orient egbe èèyàn ẹ̀wé òbọ̀ òwò owó òbọ̀ ẹ̀wé ukpọ̀n iyeke ife ekwe nnu atatawere àrùn ẹ̀wù irú onísàn ìgbọ̀n òságì ẹ̀tù irun ìgbọ̀n àtàtàwẹ̀ ugboloko ègbé ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀wé ẹ̀wẹ̀ ọ̀bọ ìkèbè èkó ìpìrìnyà ukpọ̀n iyeke àtàtàbọ̀ ìvì ètò ìpàtàkù àga òyìyà ẹ̀rù wò òrùn urùpà àga òsípàlà òsípàlà yàn odò yàn Odo. Ainyawe. Waiso. Ugu. Waiso. Asese. Idu. Okoko. Fire. Okoko. Okoko. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Ibe. Ohiwe. Ohiwe. Inyuare. Ohiwe. Yebe. Yeah. It's here. Like, give me. The new part. Yeah. Time. I'll be going on a short break. Thank you very much, everybody.